Hi there folks, yesterday it was Christmas and as is customary in our family there is not a single day of rest, so we decided to spend the holiday day pouring some concrete. We have completed the forms on previous days. I showed you video of that, and then it was a very fortunate timing because my next door neighbor has some contractors working over there, so they have piled materials like cement in bags, sand, and concrete gravel, river gravel, and also they have a small electric concrete mixer. So I could use the materials by just paying their value, but no transportation fee, which is usually a high cost because all of the materials needed for concrete are heavy, and so they're expensive to transport. And also I got to use the electric mixer, so I didn't have to go and rent one, and also I had to find a way to transport it even if I managed to rent one. So all in all, a very nice opportunity which I didn't want to miss. Let me turn the camera and I'll show you more details. So this is the finished swap. It's 15 to about 20 centimeters in thickness. It varies a bit. I have already removed the shuttering. It has set nicely. Swept it and fixed some small cosmetic details, and even leveled the ground here and pounded some small size gravel and installed the first paver, which I'll have to continue here, and I'll have to cut a piece for that part, the higher part. And also here I did a quick step by just piling lots of the stone we have around from the uh, foundation of the house dig. So I just moved the shuttering, which was here, a bit down, pounded some stakes to keep it in place, piled some stones, threw a couple of wheelbarrows of the leftover concrete gravel, and just put the level surface stones on top to form a type of step, so it will be easier for our toddler and the kids to uh, move downwards. In the future, when we are calling the large cement mixer the truck, there will be a ramp going from that level, so it will be a step here, but it will be a sloping ramp downwards up to this area, which will also have to be made as a path with a concrete surface. And the idea is to have like a belt of concrete paths around the house, which serves two very important purposes. First of all, it's much better for moving the water away from the sides of the house and the base, and all of those uh, concrete paths, they have sloping surface towards here and towards here and a bit here, so it's not completely level, but it's a bit sloping. And this ramp here, I'll be making a bit sloping towards this side, maybe 1 or 2 centimeters difference in height for about 1 meter and 50 in length. So it leads the water away from the foundation of the house. And the other very important for us piece with lots of kids and people moving around and garden work is to have what we call a clean zone. A clean zone or a clean area is a zone where you can maintain clean by making it easier to wash and to just scrub it with a hard brush. And it also makes the space much more usable and easy to maintain in all kinds of weather. For example, those leftover gravel from our septic installation, they double as a path currently, but when there is heavy rainfall, as there is soil underneath here, maybe 5 centimeters down, the mud trickles upwards. So you can see here those patches have gotten muddy by just walking on the stones. And if you want to come out and uh, do something very simple like bring in firewood or just get something from outside, you have to put your rubber boots and proper footwear, and then when you're walking towards the house, uh, and even when it's snowing and there's some snow here, snow cover, it's very easy to shovel that away, and you can basically come out of the front door in your slippers and have your coffee here on the bench, or walk out to meet someone who's coming to visit, or anything you want to do without changing into outdoors attire with like rubber boots, etc. It makes the space around the house much more usable. And those gravel paths, they're just temporary solution for the problem because they limit the amount of soil and mud which comes towards the house and makes our lives easier. But in the future, all of those gravel spaces will have to be concreted as well, and this will complete like a circle around the whole house, which will make our lives easier. So now with the slab poured, my tasks for the next couple of days will be cutting a couple of concrete pavers. First I have to fill in this gap, then I'll need some angle cut piece here, and then I'll need to cut pieces for this part. But the problem here is that the current soil level was much lower, so first I'll have to go in those you can see the massive difference in soil cover and structure here. This is the soil which we brought in this autumn, and we just spread it around this area, but now I'll have to shovel some of the soil here to raise the level so I can mount the pavers and they will have soil behind them. It will be a challenge, but it has to be done. And in the future, right about this line here, where those shuttering pieces are, it will be a concrete base like this one going down here, and this will hold the soil, and then we will have to probably bring in more soil, or just use the soil which comes from the dig all the way down here. All those scrap materials, they'll have to be moved. We'll have to hire a small excavator, dig a trench for the base of the concrete fence, and then the soil will be brought in here so we can have a higher level. And then all of those materials will have to be used or stored somewhere else, and this will be our shade and cold tolerant plant garden, because this is the north side of the house. So that was all for today. Wind is picking up here, so I'll be going indoors now. See you tomorrow.